How corruption actually works. Inside governments, corruption is often imagined as stolen money, bribes, envelopes, secret deals behind closed doors. But in most governments, corruption does not look illegal. It looks procedural. It follows rules. It uses paperwork. And in many cases, it operates in plain sight. Modern corruption rarely relies on chaos. It relies on systems. In stable states, corruption usually begins with access. Access to decision-makers. Access to procurement processes. Access to regulation. Once access becomes valuable, it becomes monetized. This is where corruption shifts from crime to structure. Public procurement is one of the most common entry points. On paper, everything appears legal. Tenders are announced. Bids are submitted. Rules are followed. But the rules themselves are often designed to exclude competition. Requirements are written to fit a single bidder. Deadlines are shortened. Oversight bodies are sidelined or underfunded. Nothing illegal needs to happen. The outcome is predetermined. Another mechanism is political appointments. Positions that should be technical become political rewards. Loyalty replaces expertise. Independent judgment disappears quietly. Institutions remain, but they no longer function independently. This is why corruption is difficult to detect. It does not always break laws, it reshapes them. In many systems, corruption survives leadership changes. New leaders arrive promising reform, but they inherit the same incentives. Access remains valuable. Institutions remain weak. Power remains concentrated. Corruption adapts. Strong leadership is often praised for decisiveness, for speed, for control. But centralized power reduces transparency. Oversight becomes selective. Accountability becomes conditional. Rules apply unevenly. From the outside, the state appears stable. Decisions are fast. Opposition is contained. Inside, trust erodes. Businesses stop competing and start negotiating. Citizens stop expecting fairness and start adapting. Innovation declines. Corruption becomes predictable. And predictability is what allows it to survive. In some systems, anti-corruption campaigns themselves become tools of control. Investigations target opponents. Allies remain untouched. Selective enforcement replaces rule of law. Corruption becomes political leverage. This creates a powerful illusion. The system looks disciplined. Leadership looks strong, but accountability disappears. Once accountability is gone, reversing corruption becomes exponentially harder. Because corruption is no longer an anomaly, it is embedded. This pattern appears across regions and ideologies. Authoritarian systems experience it quickly. Hybrid systems experience it gradually. Even democratic systems are vulnerable when power concentrates for too long. The common factor is not culture. It is institutional erosion. Reducing corruption requires changing incentives, not personalities. Independent courts that cannot be overridden. Transparent procurement that cannot be manipulated. Decentralized authority that limits concentration. Free media that exposes patterns, not scandals. These mechanisms slow decision-making. They frustrate leaders. They appear inefficient, but they exist for a reason. They prevent corruption from becoming structural. Strong leaders often promise efficiency, but efficiency without constraints removes the very barriers that contain corruption. This is why corruption often grows inside stable governments. Not as theft, not as chaos, but as a system that learns, adapts, and protects itself.